Okay, so I'm going to go through this whole concept right now.
Okay.
All right? This is, yes. So in the case of, well, okay, we're just going to start with 4/4, right? In 4/4, it's our most common time signature.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 quarter notes. And generally, we're going to, our lowest common denominator that we're going to be dealing with right now at this level that we're at right now is 8 notes, right? So that means there's going to be 8 beats in a measure. And your first task, anytime you're learning something new, is to reduce it to the lowest common denominator, which I will help you with that, don't worry. So in the case of lady, here at measure, if we start at measure 7, remember you want to tap out every single beat in the beginning to orient yourself. So if I take measures 7 and 8, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay?
Okay.
So I know that. The second way I'm going to do that, I'm going to explain a little bit different than what we just did, but the second way that I'm going to play that is using, the tapping is going to be quarter notes instead. So now, the notes I'm going to play are either going to be with the tap or against the tap.
Okay.
So if I play I'm going to play every single 8th note first of all. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Okay.
The way that you would count that, another way to count that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the standard way, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So either you're on a strong beat, which would be a number 1, 2, 3, 4, or you're on a weak beat or an upbeat.
Okay.
Some people will disagree with me on nomenclature, but I don't care. So I also do downbeats and upbeats. So the numbers are down, the ands are ups. So basically,
Okay.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So either you're on a number or an and. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
And the downbeat is the and.
Yeah, I think of them as they're going down and then the ups are going up.
Gotcha. 1
and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Very rigid. So with this particular rhythm, if you, I'll write it in there, but yeah, the notes are on 1, the and of 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. If you write that out, I'll write that out. Let's see, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
Okay, I was thinking of the 8.
Yeah, so
right.
we're switching gears here.
2 and.
So if I'm going to tap, I'm going to go, yeah.
See, but they're not even on, oh well.
I'll show you. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So this is a way, because at a certain point, if you're going, turn into a hummingbird with your, this is too many wing flaps, right?
Gotcha, right.
So we're going from when you want to do all the subdivisions until a certain point. And again, when you're doing it very slowly, it's not going to sound so much like what you think it's supposed to sound like. And that's part of the training, and it's part of the learning process. So understanding really what it actually sounds like. You're learning to perceive it truly. So now we're going to go to the next step, which is a little bit faster, which is you're just playing on the numbers. I mean, you're tapping on the numbers, sorry. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay?
Okay.
So, which is much more practical when you go up to, I think the tempo is about. So my arm is not gonna fall off. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2. So it's really important to be able to do that. I want your thighs to be bruised.
Okay.
It helps when you have a physical feeling of the music. It's really going to help you have a more solid understanding of what the rhythm really is. So of course, when you do your right hand, when you're learning your right hand, you're doing that with your left hand, and that's going to work its way into your being, so that when you are actually doing things together, sorry, what is it? Excuse me. So in my body, I still have this thing. I can feel this.
Okay.
I go to sleep with this. So there's a little person inside of me going boom, 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 and that's when you really have it. Okay. Now, part 2. So that's what we call straight eighths. So we're talking about subdivision now. We're back to our quarter notes. This is a very important principle. Again, the first way that we did things is we reduced it to the lowest common denominator. So in 4/4, you've got 8 notes. This is really a lecture on what 8 notes are in relationship to quarter notes. So 8 eighth notes in a bar of 4/4. So when you're tapping, you would tap 8 times, and that's the whole thing. Now, that's called straight eighths.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about swinging eighths, swung eighths, okay? And this is related to our shuffle. This is why we learn the shuffle, and this is why I hammer you on the shuffle.
Okay.
Because if you understand the shuffle, then you will get swing. Shuffle is the foundation. They're synonymous. A lot of words that are just a lot of gray area, but the concept of swing. We're talking about the concept of swing, which, I don't care what anybody says, is a triplet. It's an 8-note triplet. There's a lot of mystical, magical debating out there.
Okay.
But ultimately, if you, on a very dry, technical stereo manual label, if you just do a triplet, you'll be fine. And we'll talk about the mystical stuff later. But, so with straight eighths, you have your number beats, and then you have your upbeats. They're even subdivisions time-wise. So you go 1 and 2, and so there's, 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are 8 notes, straight 8 notes, right? With swing, we have to go one step, and then we'll come back to swing. So you are going to do 8-note triplets. So our subdivision is 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is still a quarter note over here. This is our 8-note triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, for the swing rhythm, we're only playing on the first and third beat of the triplet. So the second beat is a rest. You have to recognize the second beat as a rest. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So these are swung eighths. So it's a subdivision of 3, and you're playing first beat and third beat. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, right? And to confuse matters, that third beat of the triplet, if we say, okay, this tune is swung. This is a swing tune. These are swung eighths. You're going to say the verbiage is the same. Just like on the 1 and 2. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. With the swing, the rhythm is different, but the verbiage is the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because we take for granted that all of the 8 notes are swung. Okay? Okay, so that comes from the shuffle.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'm still tapping a quarter note. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm playing on beat 1 and beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I can count like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay?
So it's quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth note. Okay.
But the way that we write it is just going to be eighth notes. And I'll show you that in a minute. And I know that's confusing, but again, don't kill the messenger.
Okay.
I didn't come up with this.
All right.
This is just, and it makes sense why people do it. It is actually a lot quicker and easier to understand. Once you understand it, it makes a lot of sense. But to get there, it's a little difficult. So suffice it to say, when you're practicing, what's our time?